Disclaimer! The following episode contains spoilers for Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't go crying to your mum if we spoil it for you. You've been warned. Okay, Alex, I know you had your fun last week for your whole you edited me to sound like I was saying that I actually like DC, but I want you to promise that you're not gonna do that this week, okay?
Well, I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about actually because that wasn't editing. I didn't do anything there. That was you.
No, it wasn't, and you know it wasn't. If you're not careful, I will rewrite your Podcapers contract so that your official title isn't editor of Podcapers, it's Dog's Body of Podcapers. I'll do that, Alex.
Considering I had to look up what that means, I'm sure American employers won't mind when I'm looking for other jobs.
All right, fine. Let's just call it a truce, okay? Truce?
Okay, for now.
I love Disney. It's the best. Good, glad to hear it. Cue the music. Hello there, Capers, and as I said, welcome to Podcapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. My name is Scott James Merridew, and this is the show where we talk about various geek and nerd-related topics, and are joined each week by a very special different guest. Considering we're talking about something DC-related, it makes sense to bring back Alex Mirabal.
Hello.
How you doing, Alex?
I am very good. How are you?
I'm ill.
Yeah, that.
So if Capers, if I have to sneeze or blow my nose or hack a lung up, know that that's normal. That's normal. That's just what's happening to me this week. That's how my week's been. How's your week been, Alex?
Pretty relaxing. I'm just recovering from not being in school anymore, and I'm just still unpacking, which is probably not great. I am procrastinating from doing anything I need to do. So,
well, thankfully I gave you
procrastination.
Well, I mean, I gave you something to help you procrastinate. I enabled your procrastination by asking you to look at this movie with me, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, this was on my to-watch list, and then it probably would have stayed on my to-watch list for a very long time, like most DC animated movies do. Because it's not like a movie in a theater where I'm like, oh, I can go see this today with my friend. It's something I have to go actively look for on the internet, and like I can watch it whenever the hell I want. And when I can do that, I don't.
Yeah, it's like when it's on your own time, you just put it off and put it off and put it off, put it off, and then you realize, wait a minute, I'm 65 and I still haven't watched it. God damn.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer for this a while ago, and I was just like, okay, the fuck? And I thought, well, this might just be the weirdest thing. But there is a long-standing tradition in DC Comics to pair Batman with the weirdest extra characters from outside of DC. He's gone up against, like, RoboCop, Terminator, Judge Dredd, Alien, as in the Xenomorph from Alien.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't gone against like other big like horror movie moms like Freddy or Jason because of the connection they have with NetherRealm, the guys who make Mortal Kombat, who have the rights to have Jason and I think Freddy and Michael Myers. Like I feel like that connection is easy to make. And probably should have been done earlier, but I think Warner Brothers just has so many connections that they can. I know Scooby-Doo has a crossover like every goddamn week. Every other goddamn week.
I'm
there's
so
glad. Weird on Scooby-Doo.
I'm so glad. Yes, Scooby-Doo has like the WWE and Kiss appearing in their movies, but
Supernatural. They're Supernatural recently.
I just saw a trailer today. I actually sent it to you. I don't think you saw it yet.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, for a new, I guess, TV series called Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, which is the Scooby-Doo gang, Mystery Inc., teaming up with, to name but a few, Wonder Woman, like a bunch of, I think, athletes whose names I don't know, and
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais, I shit you not, this is real.
Yeah, it was Wanda Sykes, I think I saw in there too. Like it's I think it says the trailer for it was on Blu-ray, so it feels like it was probably it was supposed to be a TV show. It didn't end up being its own show, so they just put all the episodes on that they made on one, Blu-ray and threw it out there.
Why? Who would do this?
I mean,
I know that Scooby-Doo has had a long-standing history of weird crossovers, like right from the very beginning, like with fucking Sandy Duncan and the Harlem Globetrotters. I get it. I just have never understood why.
There's a Batman crossover there too.
Of course there is.
I remember watching Scooby-Doo and Batman like, oh god, it was forever ago when I was really little. And they also had they had a Johnny Bravo crossover, which is hilarious.
They did.
I remember really liking that one.
I think they did like a Scooby-Doo TV show that actually featured, not playing himself, but as a character, Vincent Price.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, Warner Brothers fucking weird, as if we didn't realize that from the Lego movie and all the weird crossovers that had. But that kind of makes sense because it's a weird, goofy world with all these sorts of things. So, and it's just, when these really serious properties come in contact with really silly properties, it either works very well or very poorly.
Yeah.
Now, I know that actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Meet Batman was based on a comic in that vein, which I have not read. Have you read it?
No, I hadn't even heard of it until the movie was coming out.
It's actually been pretty successful. There's been a couple of volumes of it. Like, they've teamed up on more than one occasion.
Yeah, I found that very fascinating that like this is not a property that Warner Brothers owns and so they can just keep pumping things out like Scooby-Doo. Like this is something that Nickelodeon owns. Which makes some of the choices they made in this movie incredible because this is still a property owned by a children's company.
And I get the feeling that a lot of kids are going to want to watch this. Why wouldn't they? It's Batman meets TMNT. Like, that's going to be something good. Here's the thing, though. For reasons we're going to get into, I'm not sure I feel comfortable recommending this movie to children.
Oh my god, this is rough. This is a body count. Like, Raphael says hell. Like, what?
Like... Oh, okay. We're going by British standards of what's appropriate and whatnot, not American ones. Okay? Get off with your whole Puritan. Oh my god, he says HE double hockey sticks. Oh god.
I mean, that's definitely probably not the worst thing kids hear these days now in the US, especially since, like...
In PG... Yeah, you can get away with, like, saying
rating,
fuck.
Yeah. No, PG-13 you can say fuck. But like PG now is super lax. Like you can, I think Paul Blart was PG, and I remember watching that when I was like, and I was like, okay, cool. So this is a movie that I'm supposed to be able to watch.
Yeah, it's the rating system both in America and over here is a complete and utter joke. But it's just bizarre, and I kind of like it when they take really light-hearted stuff and make it uber violent and crazy. But it really depends, and I honestly don't know, having seen this movie, if I know exactly who it's for. I think it might be a bit too simplistic for adults, but maybe too extreme for children. All I do know is it's actually really good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I think, like, I honestly think it's probably for people that remember the days of, like, Batman and Scooby-Doo and all of the classic Warner Brothers crossovers, especially with Batman, because it really hasn't happened in a long time. I think this is a new thing that's coming back.
And people who remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as they were first originally conceived as actually quite violent. Like they in their first comics, they had a kill count and a body count and were actually took themselves quite seriously. So maybe it's not entirely outside of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vein. There really needs to be a shortened version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles other than TMNT, because both of them are very difficult to say. I'm beginning to wonder why in our country, speaking of weird censorship, we changed it from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Well, there was
Thatcher! I swear, I don't know if this is true, but I swear Margaret Thatcher was involved in that somehow.
right. There was in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, like the live action one, they had to cut all of the weapon uses.
No,
So there were no nunchucks, no bow staffs, no sais, no shurikens, nothing, because like they didn't want to show, because this was supposed to be a
then
kid's
don't
property,
make
they
a
didn't want
movie
weapons.
about fucking ninjas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's shit
the
like
first
that,
movie
which
is
is
also
why we
violent.
got the fucking Coming Out of Our Shells music tour.
Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know much about Ninja
We're the
Turtles. I know that.
turtles, spin you can count on us. Moving on from that, let's just talk about this fucking movie. So, we open in Gotham at Powers Industrial. OMG Batman Beyond reference.
Yeah, they do that a lot now. They'll try to sprinkle in a few things from different properties. Like, hey, remember this one?
Yeah. Is it wrong that I like Batman Beyond, being such a Batman hater that I am? Because technically it's a different character.
I saw the first episode. I know I need to watch the full thing, but I have I have a love-hate relationship with Bruce Timm. Mostly hate.
Why?
It
What did he
usually
do?
leans toward hate. He writes a lot of porn of his Batgirl and his Supergirl who are teenagers. And
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
oh yeah, if you look up like Bruce Timm porn, it's like all Supergirl and Batgirl. And then
He chooses to write this material himself.
oh yeah, he draws it. That's what he does at like cons. If someone asks him to, he'll do it. And then he also
Hey man, I'm so glad to meet you at this public comic convention. Can you draw me a picture of Supergirl 69ing Batgirl?
oh yeah, oh absolutely. And then he
Sure,
also is
kid, anything for a
responsible.
fan.
He's responsible for every instance of Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon getting together, including the infamous Killing Joke scene.
Oh!
They aged her up in Killing Joke just so they could fuck. She's 19 in the Killing Joke movie, and I think in the Killing Joke comic she's 16.
I can't confirm that either way, but holy motherfucking shirt balls. I mean,
Yeah. He's the only one who likes it. I literally know no one. The Batman fandom is a big fandom. There's a lot of people who like different relationships. I know literally no one who likes Bruce and Barbara except for Bruce Timm. He's the only one who likes it. It happens in Batman Beyond too. In like the tie-in comics from Batman Beyond, like they in a flashback, she got pregnant by Bruce when cheating on Dick. Like it's so bad.
Oh my fuck. This is... what does Paul Dini have to say about all this?
I have no idea. I feel like Paul Dini's just happy that he got to make Harley and then peace out.
That's my contribution to the superhero genre. I'm out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I just realized that a lot of stuff from the Batman and Harley Quinn previous animated movie makes a bit more sense.
Oh yeah, that's all Bruce Timm. I feel like that's very little Paul Dini and a lot more Bruce Timm.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh, I used to respect the man. I think because it's DC, therefore I can't like it, but I respected it. Oh.
Yeah, I stopped watching the animated series after I found out all about this because I was trying to like watch all of it, and I got to like the first Batgirl episode, and then I found out about this, and I was like, no, please don't ruin it for me.
Oh god. Well, speaking of Batgirl, who's at Powers Industrial but Barbara Gordon herself? And she's there touring for something, I don't know, we need to get the plot going somehow. And there's a big tech thingy there, tech MacGuffin, and suddenly, who should pop up but the Foot Clan? Oh no!
She's like ready for them. She's like, fuck you guys, I can handle this. Like she gets all the doctors on the ground and is ready to kick some ass.
Joss Whedon may not be ready for a Batgirl movie, but I sure am. Fuck!
Yeah. And it's Rachel Bloom in this movie, who I I think I like her voice. I like her Barbara Gordon voice. It's very
Wait,
good.
is that the
Crazy
person?
Ex-Girlfriend.
Right, I've seen a few episodes of that.
And it's, I mean, we'll see it later, but it's the Batgirl of Burnside suit, which I love. I love that suit
The
so
Batgirl
much.
of who?
Batgirl of Burnside, like the leather jacket with the snap-on cape,
Ah.
and the Doc Martens, and people were ripping it to shreds. Like, how come she has such a low-tech suit? And I love it. I love it a lot, and
She
it's
doesn't have to
very
wear
good.
fucking Iron Man armor. Fuck. Like, she doesn't
Right.
need it. She's fucking Batgirl. She's got the skills to pay the bills.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the Foot Clan show up, lots of chaos, suddenly smoke pellets, boom, and in the smoke she sees shadows of mysterious creatures who look like they might have a very successful merchandise line.
Yeah. Lizard people. Definitely lizard people.
There's the people, and in this moment I'm getting real creepy Michael Bay TMNT flashbacks.
Oh God.
It's eerily similar to how April O'Neil first meets them, and
Oh,
I
no.
don't like it. Ew, ew, I don't like it. Ugh. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I thought early on that Barbara was going to become like the April of this movie, and they don't let that happen.
th- thank goodness they don't even make a reference to like how they're again working with a red-headed person.
Right.
But anyway, Batgirl informs Batman, who thinks, okay, so the Foot Clan, they're probably gonna go to Wayne Enterprises next, which is, reasonable assumption. I want to say this: he does all this at the Batcave, and Alfred comes in to give him a cup of something, like a mug or something. He gives him a Superman mug.
Oh God, I didn't even notice that. I guess I like wasn't looking at the time, but that's adorable.
I see fucking everything, and I saw him give Batman a Superman mug, and that's what I. Here's the thing. In this movie, we've seen lots of different versions of Alfred. We've seen the, oh, good Lord, Master Wayne. We've seen the, oh, can I persuade you to take a sandwich, sir? We're saying, what's the point in doing all those fucking push-ups if you can't lift up a fucking log, Master Wayne? We've seen lots of different kinds of Alfreds. We're even going to get to see young Alfred, because Hollywood keeps trying to tell us that young versions of characters before they became the characters we know are cool, and they're not. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care. I'm sure this show will be good. I don't fucking care about Alfred before Bruce Wayne enters the picture. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you've got fucking Paloma Faith in this movie. In this show. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Anyway. The Alfred we get in this movie, I absolutely fucking adore, because it's Alfred, but he is just done with the world.
He gets tortured in this movie, and I feel so bad for him, but at the same time, it is very funny.
He throws shade at everyone and everything because he's just so fucking done with everyone. And I think that's why he gave him the Superman mug. Just as deliberate.
Just to fuck with him.
Yeah, Master Wayne, I haven't been given a raise in ever, so, but it's not, we don't have to talk about it. Here's your coffee in your favourite mug. Good night, Master Wayne. And I just find it hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Batman, the Foot Clan turn up at Wayne Enterprises, but it turns out all the people and all the technology there, it's a hologram. Dun, dun, dun. And Batman's actually there, and they have a big old fight. Meanwhile, outside of Wayne Enterprises, the Penguin shows up. Wah, 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 wah.
Voiced by very obviously Tom Kenny. Like, you can't unhear it. Like, that's so Tom Kenny, it was impossible not to hear it.
I don't know. I mean, I know what Tom Kenny sounds like, but I never really caught that on right away.
It's such a Tom Kenny voice. I think mostly because I've watched so much of the Teen Titans. I mean, it's all over that.
Sorry, you cut out? Could you go back to what you were saying?
Yeah, I think it's because I've watched so much of the Teen Titans series that he's all over the animated show, and he's all over a lot of DC animated stuff where he's doing a very similar voice every time. It's just kind of the scratchy, a more adult SpongeBob voice.
I see. I mainly know him from things like Star Wars, where he usually does that sort of clipped, slightly more upper class English accent. So that's mainly what I know him from.
Oh, right. Okay. I know his villain voices, and that's his villain voice.
But anyway, so he's planning to take advantage of these recent tech heists by stealing the technology before whoever's stealing them, and then selling it back to them. And first of all, I adore how he's kitted out all of his henchmen with identical rainbow umbrellas. That's just darling.
Yeah.
They accessorize and they match. It's lovely. But then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show up. Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and oh my god, what do they do to Donatello's eyes?
I don't know.
He's got weird ditto eyes.
Yeah, I think they try to differentiate them by making them look like totally different from each other. And Donatello and I think Raphael, they both kind of look weird. Raphael looks too he looks a little bit more detailed than everyone else. Donatello looks a little bit less detailed than everyone else.
I don't know. I didn't like the scar they gave him because it looked like it's something clipping onto his mask. Like there's a little scar he has over his eye that's partially hidden by his mask, which appears to be a little bit cut. But it just kind of looks like he's got two protrusions clipping over the mask. It's very weird. Also want to point out, Leonardo, voiced by Eric Bauza. Donatello, Baron Vaughn. Michelangelo, Carl Mooney of SNL fame. Raphael is voiced by, wait for it, motherfucking Glee, motherfucking Murder of Gianni Versace, motherfucking Star Kids, A Very Potter Musical, Darren Criss.
It's such a weird choice, because
and it kind of works.
Raph doesn't talk that much, though. He really doesn't have a lot to do in this movie except for kind of towards the end.
Yeah, and it's bizarre, and yet it works, and yet it was so unnecessary, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if he voices him in the show, and maybe that's why, the current show.
I haven't seen the current show because I've heard bad things.
Neither have I. I don't see him anywhere for other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff on his IMDb, so he just decided to do this.
Did a good job, though, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fight the Penguin, he blasts off, Michelangelo makes a lot of jokes about how cool Gotham is. In fact, he makes one thing that I love. He references the fact that Gotham has blimps for apparently no reason.
Yeah, I love it. He's like, what's with all those blimps? They're crazy. I don't know why they're there, but they're awesome. I love Michelangelo.
Michelangelo is just, again, fucking adorable in this movie. He's just excited about everything, and he is precious, and I love him.
He's great. I think him and Donatello are my favorites of the Turtles.
Probably, yeah, for me as well. And so, Batman, meanwhile, is still fighting the Foot Clan, and he fights up against Shredder, who performs like a weird Kamehameha move on him that completely just wipes him out. And so Shredder gets away, Penguin gets away, and Batman and the TMNTs meet up outside of Wayne Enterprises and just like, oh shit, who's this guy? Oh shit, who are those guys? I don't know. It feels like they might have been DLC characters in some really popular fighting game, maybe. Who knows? And then, I think it's Leonardo says, as regards to Batman, take him down, we need answers. Maybe instead of fighting for answers, you could just ask him questions. I know this is a superhero thing.
They're teenage boys. They're not gonna think things through. They never think things through.
I just know that in any superhero crossover thing, whenever they first meet, they have to fight. It's like the law.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean the movie is verses. They have to get at least some verses in.
Yeah. That's a good point, because, for the first, quarter of the movie, it's Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja... it's Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but in the other three quarters of the movie, it's Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's...
You can very much tell this is based on a comic series, because they kind of very much go from one arc to the next arc to the next arc. There's 3 distinct arcs in this movie.
Yeah. And so, meanwhile, both respective parties after Batman kicked their ass.
Oh my god. Oh, and there, did you notice the lesbian couple in the pizza place?
Oh yes, I just think we should see other people.
I don't like other people. It's like this high pitched, like crackly voice, and then I think it's Michelangelo gets thrown through the window.
Can I just... Is it fair to say that this makes up for the stereotypical gay best friend in The Killing Joke?
I mean, they got a lot of making up to do for that.
Yeah.
I want at least 2 Batgirl movies with Alyssa Yeoh and Frankie Charles, and then maybe we could make up for it.
It's a good first step. It's a good first... Now the healing can begin.
Yeah.
And so, after all of that, they both go off and they do their respective research. And meanwhile, while that's going on, Robin, who it's later revealed is Damian Wayne, because I wasn't quite sure who he was at first. I thought, like, it's probably not Dick Grayson. It might be Tim Drake.
It's the Damian suit, but, like, DC in the past has, like, given the Damian suit to Tim. So I was like, it's either going to be Tim or Damian. But I think, like, they gave him this prepubescent voice, and I'm like, okay, it has to be Damian, and he's just this massive shithead. So he's probably Damian.
And he's not wearing hot pants, so it can't be Dick Grayson.
Yeah. Or Jason. Jason also had the hot pants.
Yeah, and he fucking paid, he paid for it.
Oh, yeah, or later on they mention someone dying, and it's like, oh, okay, so that was probably Jason Todd.
It always fucking comes back to Jason Todd. So Robin is spying on the Foot Clan, who it turns out are in league with the League of Shadows, or Assassins, or whatever the fuck they're called. No.
It's League of Shadows and everything that wants to be PG.
And
it's League of Assassins in this movie.
Oh, right, okay. And it turns out that they are experimenting with the Ooze, provided by Baxter Stockman, voiced by Keith Ferguson. And is it weird to say that, and I say this as a heterosexual man, his voice is kind of hot?
That's really funny. I
don't know why, because he's got the voice of a fucking fly, but like the voice, I don't know why. It's just like, it's so kind of like laid back and kind of goofy, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, I had no idea who Baxter Stockman was at all. I was like, okay, so the Foot Clan has a fly person. But I mean, it's okay that you feel that way about Keith Ferguson's voice, because he is Reaper. Like, he's done
okay,
deep, sexy voices. He's also
I will be in your slash fic. Sorry, what?
Yeah, he's also Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Dude has a range.
God damn, he has range. There's a lot of really good voice actors. And before we go any further, let's just get the voice actors out of the way, actually. Troy Baker is voicing Batman and the Joker.
I was so convinced that this was Kevin and Mark. I was like, I don't remember them talking about Kevin and Mark being in this movie. And it's just because Troy Baker does a fucking excellent job at imitating both of them.
Yeah, I mean, we knew Troy Baker, he's done Batman in the Telltale game, and he's done Joker in the Arkham Origins game, and now he's just combined the two. And I did know that Troy Baker was going to be Joker in this, but I didn't know that he was going to be Batman, and I swore that it was Kevin Conroy when it first started.
And yeah, it's a different Batman from when he was playing him in Telltale. It doesn't, like, in Telltale, he doesn't sound like Kevin Conroy. In this, he specifically was imitating Kevin Conroy.
And it fucking works. Like, they don't need to get Kevin Conroy ever again. Like, sorry, Kevin, what are you going to do do? Jeez.
Break him out for the big stuff. Just not Killing Joke ever again.
And so they got Tom Kenny. They got John DiMaggio as Mr. Freeze. And they got Tara Strong as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Of course. I recognized her instantly. The second Harley opened her mouth, I'm like, that's Tara.
Take that, what's your face from the fucking Big Bang Theory?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that show, but like she doesn't sound like Harley, and it's gonna be hard getting used to.
I know what you're referencing. I was making a reference to Batman and Harley Quinn movie.
Oh god, does she play her in Batman and Harley Quinn?
No, it's the other lady from Big Bang Theory, Melissa Rauch.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And
I say that Melissa LaRoche in that movie did a pretty good job, I thought. And Kelly Cuoco in that new cartoon trailer I saw, that I think she looks okay, sounds okay in
she
that.
sounds fine. She sounds like a different kind of Harley, but she like doesn't have like the Boston accent. She's not Tara. Like, and that's fine. She's doing something else
Oh,
with
it's
it.
a Boston accent. I've always wondered. I thought it was like
Well,
Brooklyn, but I don't
it's
know American
Brooklyn,
accents.
Boston. It's. I think
Coming
I think
through,
the idea is that it's
man!
fake. It's fake. Like, she puts it on because Harleen Quinzel does not have that accent. Harley Quinn does. So it's not really something that she does. It's just something that she puts on.
Or she does, or she does has it, but it's like not as heightened. It's not as exaggerated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just great to have Tara Strong in something because she's awesome.
She's in everything.
Yeah. and so they introduced the Ooze. Now, I will admit that whilst I have seen quite a bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert by any means. However, I'm fairly certain this is not how the Ooze works. Alex, do you know how the Ooze works?
Nah. I know nothing about any, like, I know their names, I know about Splinter, and I know about Shredder, and I know about April a little bit. That is the extent of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle knowledge.
Right, so in this movie, they inject a member of the League of Assassins with the Ooze, and it turns him into like a wolf man. I was always given to believe that the Ooze, when it was done right, fucking Michael Bay, when it was done right, was the idea is that when you touch the Ooze, you transform into a hybrid between the species you are and the animal you last came into contact with. So Baxter Stockman, right? He came into contact with a fly, got touched by Ooze, transformed into a fly man. People
Okay.
Rocksteady, Warthog and Rhino, you get the idea. Teenage
Right.
Mutant Ninja Turtles,
They were turtles.
were
that
turtles,
became
were touched
people.
by humans, became humans.
Yeah.
And Splinter's got two different origins. In the first origin, he is a rat that gets in contact with a human, becomes half rat, half human. In the second origin, he's a human, contacts with a rat, comes half human, half rat. You get the idea.
Yeah.
In this version, though, it appears you come into contact with the Ooze, and they either inject it or spray it on you. It's not very consistent even within the movie, and you get transformed into a random animal. There's
Yeah.
a there's a I think either Foot Clan or a League of Assassins member who transforms into a motherfucking T-Rex.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck did you come and did you go to the Natural History Museum recently? Like,
You're not supposed to touch the bones, man. You've been warned.
Yeah.
It's
Which there's a lot of,
I
like,
don't know. I
yeah,
just want a bit of
really.
consistent internal logic. I mean,
Yeah, there isn't, but like they do. It is interesting that they do reference the fact that there's gonna be a T-Rex. There's a lot of like throwbacks and references to earlier things, like Michelangelo rides the T-Rex in the Batcave and then later has to fight a T-Rex.
yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Right.
And so Robin sees all of that and notes that there's a very tenuous alliance between Shredder and Ra's al Ghul. His name is Ra's al Ghul, not Raz, like everyone thinks it is.
It has been pronounced. I don't even think it's either of those pronunciations. I think there's like a different actual Arabic pronunciation of it that no one ever goes with. And I think like the only person that I know that gets close is actually David Mazouz in Gotham. Like, he's the only one who gets kind of close to the actual pronunciation, and it's like Raz or something like that.
Oh.
He actually tries to get it right, and everyone's like Raish, Raz, Raish, Raj.
Do I just need to send out cards with like phonetic spelling out of my name? Jeez.
Right.
Call me the head of the demon, I don't care.
Yeah. Let's call him Rash.
Rash, how cool. It's not Rash! I don't know a Rash! Shut up! Head of the demon! Anyway. And so, also, I want to point out, They never reference the fact that Damian Wayne is like his grandson in this.
I think like at this point he's had to deal with his granddad so much. There's no angst there. Like his grandpa's a bad guy, and he's got to deal with that. Like there's no angst, especially since Talia's not involved.
Yeah. So meanwhile, once he spies on them, the Teenage Mutant Turtles manage to find the Bat Cave. They swim up into it, proving that actually the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can in fact breathe underwater. So
yeah,
that's something.
Also, this makes me think that Killer Croc could get to the Bat Cave if he was smart, if he wasn't a dumbass.
Yeah, maybe Batman having like an open waterway into your secret lair that anyone can access isn't the smartest thing.
Yeah, I think he just assumed that he's not going to deal with a lot of smart water-based bad guys.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry to call this meeting of the Justice League, but I just want to let you know there is an open waterway into my Batcave, and I'm asking you, as a friend, no one tell Aquaman. You know him, he will just like go in there and mess everything up, and I don't want that. I'm just gonna get ahead of this, okay?
Yeah. There's a line that I think Donatello says at some point. Like someone mentions that Batman is just, we got beat up by a dude who in a Dracula costume, and Donatello's like, what Dracula movies are you watching? And there's like this sincerity in his voice.
But there was a Batman versus Dracula movie.
Of course there was.
There was like a spin-off of the Batman cartoon TV show of the time.
Yeah.
And so that happened. Also, side note, in that movie, Dracula's wife is Carmilla. Fuck off. How fucking dare you? Carmilla would have done... No! Kind of the whole... No! Just want to say that. No! And so they mess around in the Batcave. Mikey rides the T-Rex, as you say. I don't know why Batman has that. How the hell did he get that into the cave? How the fuck did he move that? And the giant coin!
I mean, it's just a state. I don't know how or why.
And
I don't know if there's ever been an explanation for any of those.
Donatello, meanwhile, geeks over the Bat computer.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna go see if I can get into this computer for science reasons. Definitely not any other reason.
So while they're doing that, Robin returns, and of course they fight.
Oh yeah.
Because of course. But then Batman and Batgirl arrive, and everyone just calms down a bit. They introduce themselves. Jokes are exchanged at their expense. And they say, hey, you've got a common enemy with us. Let's take him now together. And Robin reveals that the reason why Shredder is working with the League of Assassins is for the use of the Lazarus Pit, you know, that old-fashioned Deus Ex Machina, which gives the Turtles some concern, because, like, immortal, semi-immortal Shredder, not good for anyone, even though, let's be honest, Shredder, he never dies. He always fucking comes back.
He doesn't need a Lazarus Pit. He's already immortal.
He always comes back. Always.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out that Shredder and the Foot Clan's grand plan, the reason why they're working together in the beginning, is because they're building a machine that will somehow transform everyone into Gotham into mutants like the Teenage Mutant Turtles, but like insane ones, because they're going to mix it with Joker venom. Rum-bum-bum. And so Batman and Batgirl go off to do... and Robin go off to do something. I can't... No, actually, what it is they will sort of hang out in the Batcave, and Donatello and Batgirl work on an anti-mutagen to reverse the effects.
What do they call it? The anti-ooze? And she's like, nope, anti-mutagen. We're not calling it that.
She's not happy with that. Batman and Leonardo spar, which is pretty cool. Raphael, I think, and Robin chat about something I can't remember. And Michelangelo just lives to utterly destroy Alfred's life.
He like skateboards through the house. They get pizza, and he like almost knocks him over entirely. Like, and he takes the skateboard, and he's like dragging him down the stairs to the Batcave. Instead of holding his ear, because he can't hold his ear, he just like holds his mask. and like drags him downstairs.
Oh, God, you just know that young Dick Grayson liked to skateboard and he's used to this by now.
Yeah, I was like, you should be used to dumb teenagers. Like you've dealt with this before.
He says that line. He says teenagers in a weary voice that says he's seen several teenagers come through this house and he's sick to the back teeth of all of them.
Yeah, if we're at Damien at this point, there's been at least 4. Like
Bruce, Dick, Damien, Timm, Jason. That's 5.
Right. Cassandra, but she wasn't. She's a good kid. She doesn't fuck with anyone.
Stephanie Brown. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if she ever lived in Wayne Manor, but yeah, it's a lot of people, a lot of teenagers.
You know, if he had lived long enough to see Terry McGinnis become Batman, who's like, nope, that's it. I am out. I am done. I am leaving. Goodbye, Master Wayne. I'm retiring. I'm fucking 112 and I'm done. I'm just
no
done.
more teenagers.
I would say, I guess it's a random topic. I feel really bad for Alfred because he's a butler, right? And butlers, if you ever watch Downton Abbey, you know, have very specific duties. It seems, though, that that Alfred, rather, takes care of the entire fucking mansion, which is a giant space for anyone to clean, maintain, and service on a regular basis, and it's just him.
Yeah. I think the idea is that usually it's also just Bruce, so he doesn't have to clean a lot of the house. He just has to clean the ones that Bruce goes through. Yeah, fair. So, like, every once in a while, he needs to do a big clean, but for the most part, he kind of only needs to deal with Bruce's room and the Batcave, because what other rooms does Bruce go into?
No, fair point. Like, his biggest day is when Bruce hosts a charity fundraiser that gets interrupted by Two-Face, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they realise that there's a big incident going on at Arkham, by Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon tells them that, and he says possibly he is also done because he says the funniest line in the movie when he sees the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he says, "Just focus on your retirement, Jim. Just focus on your retirement. Someplace where the turtles don't talk and the clowns are funny."
I'm like, oh, Jim, I feel so sorry for you. I feel so sorry for her.
Like, everyone that isn't Batman in this movie, with maybe the exception of Robin and Batgirl, just suffers. Yeah. Everyone fucking suffers.
Batgirl seems to be having the best of time. Like, Robin's kind of annoyed. Like, he thinks these guys are annoying and childish. Batgirl is just like, hell yeah, like, this guy does machine things. I like him. Let's hang out. And she'll eat pizza with the guys. Like, she's having a good time.
Yeah. So they go to Arkham, and turns out that oh god, Shredder and Ra's al Ghul went to Arkham, and they killed all the guards, including decapitating one.
Yeah, this
and
is
you
where the
see
count
it.
goes crazy.
Well, I mean, you don't see it. You hear like, oh no, there's someone behind me. Off screen, shink, thwomp. You see his head fall down, and you think, oh, it's just the body falling down. We just can't see the body. No. Then we see the body fall down in front of the camera in another position. They went
it's
Highlander on
This is where the body count really goes up.
Shredder fucking impales a guy from behind, and you see like blood spurt out of his chest.
Mm-hmm.
I actually legitimately went, holy shit, because there's violence in this movie, but nothing that extreme up to this point. It kind of comes the fuck out of nowhere.
Right, there's no like typical kid gloves with this, where it's like, well, the bad guys aren't actually killing anyone; they're just knocking them out. No, the Foot Clan and the League of Assassins will fucking kill you.
Actually, I take that back. Comes a point where a member of the Foot Clan looks like he might be about to reveal information to Batman, and he's killed by a shuriken that bloodily embeds it in his forehead by the Shredder.
Yeah! Shredder fucking kills his own dude!
Well, he's a bad guy, of course he does.
Oh, I know, but he kills it. Like, that's hardcore.
Yeah, it's fucking not gonna be like boss of the year over there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Excuse me. And so they go to, so the heroes then turn up to Arkham, And it turns out that all the inmates of Arkham have been infected with the Ooze, so they've all turned into fucking animal versions of themselves. Get this, Poison Ivy, Plant Lady, Bane, fucking Jaguar Man, Scarecrow, literal crow person, and Mr. Freeze, Polar Bear.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
Harley turns into a golden retriever.
No. She turns into a fucking hyena, and I'm not kidding when I say that is the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh. But she has that line earlier where he's like calling her a nurse, and she's like, "I'm sorry, what'd you call me?" And he's like, "Dr. Harley Quinn." And she's like, "Exactly. I went to several years of school, and he calls me nurse."
Yeah. That was really funny, but it's immediately followed up by her eyes never blink, and she's constantly bearing this incredibly huge pointy teeth grin, and it's just but it's still Tara Strong's voice, which somehow makes it worse, not better.
It's horrifying. Like, all of these are horror except for Bane. Bane sounds like a pirate, and I can't get over that.
Yeah, but I mean, the Joker turns into like a giant Cobra Man, and that's scary. Yeah. But not as scary as Harley. Like, Hyena Quinn is nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, it's spooky.
And they all fight off against each other, and one of them, I think they're fighting Mr. Freeze, Michelangelo, and one of the others. And
I think it's Michelangelo, Raphael, and Robin all fight Mr. Freeze.
I think Raphael actually says to Mr. Freeze when he's attacking Robin, he says, "Hey, creature, leave that kid alone." And I'm just sitting there thinking, did you just make a fucking Pink Floyd reference?
That totally went over my head.
Yeah, it's a fucking Brick Wall reference. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. And it's just like, I mean, okay, but again, why? Why would you do this? For what purpose? Do you think the kids in the audience are going to get a kick out of that? Or is that like we have this expression in the UK, I don't know if you have it over there. It's like when you include something in out of nowhere that an old generation get, and it's like something for the dads, you know? It's like, is that what it is? Just like for all the the burnt out stoners who still like Pink Floyd? Is that why? Why? What about this scenario lends itself to a Pink Floyd reference? What about the music video for Another Brick in the Wall lends itself to this situation? I just don't... I'm not saying you can't make a Pink Floyd reference. I'm just saying there's no point.
Right, but it doesn't take anything away from the scene. I totally didn't get it at all.
It took me out of the scene. It made me just wait, what? I had to pause and just wait, what? Let's hear that again. No, that is unabashedly a Pink Floyd. Was the writer of this written by Marley Halpern Grazer? Is she just like a Pink Floyd fan? Is that it? Does she is she related to the band? Does she have friends who? I don't get it. I don't get why. Fucking why? Just a big in neon lettering shooting up into the sky and fucking fireworks emblazoned upon the side of the moon. Why? But anyway.
No idea.
And so they all have to fight them. It's a particularly hilarious scene where they got about to fight Poison Ivy, but she's a plant lady who's then attached to the floor because of roots, and they just they get away from her, just inching around the room away from her.
Yeah, it's we could have had this fight, but we don't got time for it, so let's just make it a joke. And she's just like, "No, I can get you. No, come on."
And that's the thing I don't get about this movie. It's so funny in places, but also they fucking decapitate people.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work in as a sort of a Deadpool way or anything. It just feels like these are two different movies, and I don't begrudge them trying to make it a bit more serious or more funny. I'm just saying it feels a bit tonally inconsistent.
The Foot Clan feels kind of, and the League of Assassins, they feel kind of goofy. Their end goal feels goofy. And when there's ones that are oozed up and turned into these monsters, they look kind of goofy, but they also straight up murder people and are in gruesome ways and are very, very scary in other places. So it's tonally inconsistent. I think it's mostly tonally inconsistent for the bad guys. not so much the heroes. I think that they all kind of hit the same notes.
Yeah, Batman doesn't suddenly turn into like himself, but written by Frank Miller at random intervals. You know,
Right, yeah.
he's pretty consistent. It's just the other stuff, yeah. And so they face off against various mutated villains. But then the Joker, Cobra Joker, infects Batman with a combination of the Ooze and his own Joker venom to drive him insane. And he turns into what else but a fucking bat.
He turns into Man-Bat.
Man-Bat, basically, yes. And
he kills Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, like he knocks him down a hole, and then
you just hear scratching until Mr. Freeze stops screaming.
And like, yeah, he was a fucking polar bear, but like, I'm pretty sure he's now dead.
He killed him.
Straight up killed him. Like, I take that, Zack Snyder. Turns out Batman does kill.
Yeah, if he's infected with stuff. Though Batgirl does straight up kill someone later. So
yeah, she fucking blows up an elephant man.
An elephant man. Like, just because he's an elephant doesn't mean he's gonna survive 3 gas tankers exploding in his face.
I'm a human being. I had to. I'm sorry. But before that, they managed to uninfect him, and
Batgirl uses the practical uses for the Burnside outfit. Like, Joker grabs her cape and she just unsnaps it from her jacket. Like, she's like, okay, bye, I don't need it.
Edna Mode would be proud.
Yeah, I love her. They make really good use of her in this movie.
See, fucking Killing Joke, this is how you do your... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and she beats the shit out of him and takes a selfie with him and tells him to smile. That is so satisfying.
Oh, God. So they all retreat to the Batcave, having learned that actually this whole thing in Arkham was a distraction for Shredder and Ra's al Ghul to go to Wayne Enterprises to steal this thing called a Cloud Seeder. And they steal it from the Penguin, and like they kill all of his goons, but they don't kill him. Just like,
yeah, I thought, oh my god, they're gonna kill Oswald Cobblepot right here, and they don't.
Fucking, why not? You kill Mr. Freeze, like, go for broke, you know?
Yeah.
And then this is the point where Batman has to be all like, ugh, being in a team sucks, it never works, I'm alone, I'm an island, Batman.
This scene doesn't make any sense but to give Raphael something to do.
Yeah, so Batman says, like, it's entirely your fault that I got turned into Man-Bat, and it was a distraction, even though I was with you the entire way, and you're too impulsive, and you're too... You need to go back to New York, and we'll handle this ourselves. Raphael says, no, that's stupid. Oh, yeah, and he, like, grabs him by the arm and turns him around forcefully.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh no, you touched the bat.
And everyone gasps, and I'm just like, what? What did he do? Like... Oh, he touched him. Oh, he touched him and turned around. Like, that would make sense if Batgirl and Robin gasped and the others didn't, but, like, everyone gasped. Even Alfred gasped. Like, oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good moment to, like, show that, like, yeah, Raph has a lot of tendencies that are very Batman-y. Like, the only thing I really know about Raphael is that he goes and does the Batman thing all the time, where he hates, being with the team and he goes off being alone, which doesn't work in this movie, so he doesn't really get a lot to do.
They do reference that. They reference, like, hey, the whole brooding loner thing, I know that. I have to hang out to my share of rooftops saying that I'm the only one that can protect my city. But, like, teamwork.
It doesn't work. I get the shit kicked out of me and my brothers have to save me. And they're like, yeah, it happens, like, every time.
Every fucking time. And so they all say, okay, what the hell, let's team up and go get them. Michelangelo goes in the Batmobile with Batman, but the rest of them go in the Turtle van. I don't know the name of it.
I don't know. It's an RV. It's like a high-tech RV.
It's pretty cool. That's featured in various Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles media throughout the years, so it's...
To sell toys.
Basically, yes. Well, that's why they exist. But so they advance towards the whole thing is ticking down Ace Chemicals, where the Joker was quote unquote born, and like Donatello pops up at a weird turret thing and shoots like New York manhole covers painted like pizzas at people. Pretty sure he kills a guy.
Yeah.
Batgirl blows up an Elephant Man. Pretty sure she kills him.
But this is a cool ass action scene.
It
Like
is very cool.
this whole like car chase scene is awesome. They all and every action scene they all have their chance to shine, which is interesting that no one really gets glossed over for a movie with such a big cast. Because there's 7 people that they need to focus on in every fight scene, and it seems to work out every time.
And they do some pretty creative things with the fight scenes. Although I will say, earlier, when they turned Batman away from Man-Bat back into Batman, Michelangelo injects him with the anti-Ooze thing, and he does it by, I swear to God, pulling an Arya Stark and just like switching the weapon from one hand to the other.
Hands. He's like, please don't. It's just like, please don't kill me or whatever. Like, please don't be mad at me if you survive this.
Just like you got taken out like the fucking Night King. You know it's not going well. But
Right.
the action scenes are great, and it gets even better when they get out inside its chemicals and have to fight up against Ra's al Ghul, other members of the various ninjas, and Shredder. And Donatello and Leonardo go up against Ra's al Ghul, and Donatello gets his fucking arm broken.
Yeah. And earlier, when he was fighting Bane was like, I'm the one who broke the bat. He tries to do the same thing, and he can't with the shell. But Ra's doesn't have that problem because he's not going for the shell. He's going for the arm.
It's fucking brutal, and which means Leonardo is left to fight him. And early in the movie, he fought against Scarecrow, and Batman's like, look out for his fear gas. It'll make you see things that aren't there. 2 seconds later, I've been hit by the fear gas, and now I'm seeing things that aren't there. Just like, oh, my greatest fear are my family members dying, and then we see like the emaciated corpses of the rest of the TMNTs. And
he sees the Ultron vision, the vision that Tony gets in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, fucking yeah, and it's horrifying. And he has a brief flashback to that, and it's all about him like letting go of his fear and his anger and just like being focused. Something Batman told him, some bullshit like that. You know, follow your heart, brush your teeth, don't do drugs. You're set.
Stay in school.
Yeah, and. So he fights Ra's al Ghul and does a pretty good job. And Ra's al Ghul is just like, I've fought for centuries. I've been trained by the greatest masters in all the world. You don't have a chance to. And then he kicks him in the fucking bollocks.
Yeah. He's like, I am a ninja. You can't think of, like, I'm an ancient ninja. I know all these things. And then he kicks him in the nuts.
Just like, yeah, fucking yeah. I mean, legitimate tactical move. Like, and he says like, yeah, well, I'm a teenager, so.
Yeah. Like, I love it. I love these. Like usually, like I kind of find them annoying if I just see them out of context. But I think that they're very funny in this movie. Like they're not annoying. They're just good.
And Batman fights against Shredder by teaming up with Michelangelo. And the reason he says like,
he says it's Ralph. It's Raph because Michelangelo's doing the cloud thing, I think.
Oh yeah, but before that, he says a line which I never thought I'd hear Batman say: "Cowabunga."
He says "cowabunga" because it's the code word that we don't see them establish, but they talk about it later. Yeah. Like we needed a word he would never ever say, and it's "cowabunga." Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah. And so
it's so good.
But actually, he fights with Raph, and then Donatello, with a broken arm, like fucking go Donnie, crawls over to the Joker cloud machine thing and tries to stop it, clambers onto it, but it starts rising into the air. Michelangelo jumps on it. She's like, I don't know how to solve this. Like, you do machines, I'm the party dude. It's like, oh, I was wondering.
Yeah, we went on that one.
And you know, Raph, he's cool but rude, and Leonardo leads, and that's our thing. That's our theme song.
There it is. That's the theme song.
And so it's up to Michelangelo to save the day. How does he do it? By beating shit up. Like he just punches the machine, and that works.
He gets mad and he hits it, and Donatello's like, "Wait, that's gonna work. Keep hitting." And he's like, "Yes." Which he did that in the Batmobile earlier when he was like, "I want to push buttons." And Batman's like, don't push buttons. And then later he's like, push all the buttons. And Michelangelo's like, yes, pushing all the buttons. And Robin's like, man, I wish I could push all the buttons.
Oh god, this movie is so funny sometimes. I swear to God.
It's
Although
great.
then suddenly Donatello and Michelangelo are falling to the ground suddenly, and they do something which again I wasn't sure that they could do. They just plop into their shells.
Yeah. Well, they also they land on the blimps.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what the blimps are for.
There's so many jokes. We're not even gone over all the jokes.
Oh,
These are just some of the
gosh, no.
highlights. And so Shredder is just like, it doesn't matter because I can get the Lazarus bit and I'll defeat all of you and I am awesome because I'm Shredder and I never go out like a pussy. And then the machine falls onto him, launches him into a big vat of chemicals. It's like, no!
Yeah, and that's that's when I knew that there was going to be sequel bait at the post-credit scene.
Yeah. We'll fucking get on to that. And so all of the mutants, we presume, we haven't seen all of them, presumably get treated. And everyone is like, yay, go us. The Turtles are about to leave for New York, but Batman says, hey, don't you want some pizza? It's like, yay, pizza party. And they all have pizza. And Alfred eats his pizza with a knife and fork.
Yeah. And
even as a stout British man myself, I would never eat pizza with a knife and fork. I want the people of the world, of both America and Italy, to know that. I would never do it. I'm looking at you, Trump. I would never do it.
I mean, we have Americans that sometimes do it, and that's why...
We can only assume that they are sent away to Canada.
There's a guy who was running for president in 2016 who ate pizza with a fork and knife, and I think he, his poll numbers plummeted, that day.
Yeah.
Legitimately, he wasn't elected. I mean, he wasn't elected for a lot of reasons, but he wasn't elected because he ate pizza with a knife and fork.
It's kind of like our version of, I think, was it Ed Miliband or David? One of the Milibands was running for Prime Minister a while back. I can never remember which one. And he ate a bacon sandwich in a weird way, and that's why he didn't become Prime Minister.
It's so weird, petty things for...
This is our political system. This is our society.
Yep,
this is our lives. And
everything's on fire.
And so they all have a nice pizza party, but then post-credit scene, Shredder, shock of all shocks, survived the explosion, but now he's
He's
the Joker. Joker Shredder.
He's Joker Shredder. The second he fell into that vat, I was like, oh, Joker Shredder. And then that was the end credit scene. I was like, oh yeah, Joker Shredder.
Because the ooze in this movie is green, and the Joker venom in this movie is purple, and he went to the purple vat, so yeah. And also, I want to say, for the credits, it's really cool. They put the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman into the covers of their respective comics over the years.
Yeah, including the most recent one I saw on there was again Burnside. Clearly, the writer really, really likes Batgirl of Burnside because she put it in everywhere she could.
I can only assume Burnside is someone who created that comic.
No, the person, the people who wrote Batgirl of Burnside was Brendan Fletcher and Cameron Stewart.
Oh, I see. Okay, so why is it called Burnside?
The art was Bob Starr. Burnside is like a weird suburb of Gotham. And so she moves out there and she goes to Burnside College.
Oh, so it's like her Bloodhaven.
Yeah. It's like, this is my zone and no one else could be in this zone except for me.
What is this? Squatters' rights? No.
Yeah, at least she has a smaller area. Dick has a whole city.
Yeah.
She's got Burnside. It's not really its own city. It's just kind of just a small suburb town.
And that's the movie. And I'll be honest, there's some stuff in this movie I don't think works, but I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. Do you know why? Because unlike a lot of other DC movies, the bad stuff doesn't really matter because the good stuff is so good. This movie is just a ton of fun.
It is great, and I think that's something to be said about most of the animated movies. I haven't watched a lot of them, but the ones that are like really good are just kind of a lot of fun to watch.
See, I have watched quite a few, not all of them, but a fair
There's so
amount.
Yeah, I think
And
the ones that I've watched multiple times is like Under the Red Hood, and
oh, that's a good one.
that's a really good one, and Assault on Arkham,
That is
which
also
was
another
also
very good one. That's a Suicide Squad movie done right.
Suicide Squad in the Batman Arkham universe.
Yeah, there's another Suicide Squad movie, Hell to Pay, which is also okay. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I think there's also Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
Um, Not that I'm aware of. Maybe.
So I don't know. There recently there was Justice League versus the Fatal Five, which I haven't watched. I haven't watched any of like the long-term animated universe stuff like Bad Blood or Judas Contract or any of that.
Yeah, so I've seen a few of those. Death of Superman, Reign of Superman. There's a new one coming out called Batman Hush.
Oh yeah, I don't think that one's in the main universe, but I'm so Hush is
But
one of my favorite series.
you see, there's a thing called the DC animated movie universe, which is different from the
Oh.
DCU animated universe, which has some
Yeah, there's
original.
different from like the TV universe from like the early 2000s. Just like they have their own animated universe, and then sometimes they do like direct comic book adaptations
Yeah, like
that
Batman
are.
Year One, Gotham by Gaslight, Superman
Mhm.
versus the Elite, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Killing Joke, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Hush. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I like Hush is definitely one of my favorites. It's also, Cat it's a great Catwoman series, so
Well, I will say, for me, the DC animated movie universe did not get off to a great start. When the Flashpoint Paradox was an alright movie, but it was followed by Justice League War, which I hate with passion. I actually did a text review for that for A Place to Hang Your Cape ages ago, and I fucking loathed it.
I watched it once and I thought it was weird. I don't like Wonder Woman's voice. I really don't like Wonder Woman's voice. It's
I
kind
think
of
that's
bad.
Rosario Dawson.
I like Rosario Dawson. I don't think she does a good Wonder Woman voice. But I did like there were a few scenes that I remember.
No, I was wrong. I think she plays her in later things, but in this movie, in Justice League War, it's Michelle Monaghan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't like that movie too much. I do remember having fun.
Oh my god, Sean Astin is Shazam!
Yeah, it's weird
did not know that.
what people they get for those animated movies. It's surprising how like especially like the mainstays like Bruce Greenwood I think is all of is
He's
Batman.
a great Batman.
Yeah.
He's in Young Justice, and he was in Under the Red Hood, and I do really, I just could we have gotten that movie like in live action instead of fucking Batman versus Superman? That's a far better movie.
I like them both. But yeah, no, I would
You
love
are
to see
wrong.
live action. No, okay. We'll have this discussion.
As we're on this weird tangent of talking about the DC animated universe, there was also recently there's been movies based on the Batman 1960s series, which featured Burt Ward and the late great Adam West.
Oh my god, they were gonna do more movies until Adam West died.
There was the last one they did was Batman vs. Two-Face, where Two-Face was played by William Shatner.
Yeah. And they also had oh god. Oh, I feel so bad that I don't remember her name.
Julie Newmar.
Yeah, Julie Newmar. They had Julie Newmar playing Catwoman again, and like they had everyone they possibly could have, which is so good.
Yeah, it is great, and it's sad that's the last one we got of them, but
well, I mean, of course they can't voice it, but they're still doing the '60s Batman comic book series.
Oh yeah.
Which is I've like read like one issue. It's a lot of fun. It's goofy and
of course,
I like that.
And of course we've got more slightly less recently, but still pretty close. Batman Ninja, and of course Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Oh god, we never talked about that. I watched that movie because Tara Strong told me if I watched it we'd get the original series back. Um, and I did. And
Did she tell you that personally? Or was that in your
she said it,
dreams?
no, she said it on like Twitter or something. Like someone asked her at a con, like, "Hey, what's the chances of this leading to season 6?" And she's like, "I don't know, pretty high." And she's at a panel and she like turns to one of the producers, and because it's a lot of the same. I mean, it's obviously the same cast, but it's also a lot of the same writers and producers. And she's like, "How likely is that?" And he's like, "Hey, if people show up for this movie, it's very possible." Um,
Using fans' love and nostalgia to go
yeah.
see a new movie, but
Well,
I see your game.
the end credit scene is like the actual old animation. They break through and they're like, "We think we found a way to come back. Just hold on, we're coming, guys. We're coming to save you."
Oh God! Oh, oh fuck! Just like dangling a piece of string over a cat. Like, come on, fans,
Yeah.
come on, come on, come on. Oh God! I mean, if they follow through with it, it won't be a tease. But if they don't follow through with it, it's a tease.
I want it really. I don't know why like there's this hesitation to do it because it just ended on such a weird note that I think it needs to continue.
Well, it ended on fucking Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. I cannot say that when I have a cold.
Right, but that doesn't continue. That didn't even continue the storyline from the TV show, which ended in a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah,
It ended with Tara being alive.
but
And
it's not Terra.
yeah, like
I will admit I
but
will admit I haven't seen the original Teen Titans. I only know from other sources.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's fucking weird. And there's always been a long. This thing, one thing that DC does have over Marvel, you did not hear this from me, is that
I didn't even have to edit this one. This one's totally it's free.
They do a lot of animated films, much more than Marvel. Marvel have done a few over the years, and some have been okay. Maybe one or two have been good. Most of them have been pretty shit. Like, I don't think anyone cared about the fucking Iron Man animated movie.
Yeah, Disney owns so many properties. Why aren't they doing more crossovers?
It's just like maybe it's because Warner Brothers just have a better ethics better outlook when it comes to producing these sorts of things. Maybe because they've been doing it for so many years and just Disney don't know how to do anything other than a direct-to-DVD sequel to their shitty movies, you know?
Yeah. I don't like I honestly like I feel like there would have been like a Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Wars crossover at this point.
Oh dear God.
Probably should have. Yeah.
I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. Are they actually talking? Like, is that a conversation, or are they just both not understanding each other? Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I don't know why it's harder for Marvel to get in on that because from what I remember, I never saw it, but like the Avengers animated shows around the same time as like the animated TV universe for DC were like pretty high. From what I've heard from other people, they really liked those shows.
Well, I mean, like the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon is fucking amazing. Then it was followed by Avengers Assemble, which was made purely to cash in on the movies, which is fucking terrible.
Yeah, and then like
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Heard a lot of the TV shows either.
Oh, all of the Marvel TV shows, animated ones at least, are fucking cheap as hell and kind of boring. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy here is pretty good, and I guess some people like Hulk, Agents of Smash, but they're just so cheap and boring, and I just don't care. I've talked about this before.
Also they all look totally different, and that's what I like about the DC animated universe. For the most part, it's the same animation studio, and you can tell like the characters look fairly the same, so you don't have this issue of okay, do these connect at all because they don't look at all the same. Like we're not getting 3D animation in one side and then 2D animation in the other side, and it's only like the very stylized movies like the Batman Ninja that get like totally different animation styles.
Or things like the Batman 1960s thing, or Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. Brave and the Bold was an interesting show.
Like, it did its own thing. That's fine. Interesting when the fucking Doom Patrol turn up in that. Jeez. Oh, jeez. And oh god, and I'm just gonna. I mean, it's an eclectic mix. The various animated DC Comics movies. But, you know, it shows they keep trying. Stuff doesn't work, like maybe Batman and Harley Quinn, or the fucking Gen 13 movie, which I loathe. But one day I'm going to do a fucking review on that, and then you'll all be sorry. But they keep trying. They keep on doing new things and branching out, experimenting, and eventually they settle on what works, and they just kind of run with it for as long as it does work. And
I like when they do in-house stuff. When they're in-house stuff without any like outside interactions tends to be like, if it's not good, it's clearly still like there's a clear vision there. It's not like a studio was fucking with it. Like there's someone had a clear vision and they got to do that vision, and I'm happy for that at least.
Yeah, and because they had a clear vision, and just like, hey, I think this would be a fun thing to do, you know? Just it works.
Yeah.
And
that's why DC Universe I like so much, because it's all in-house people. All the writers, all the producers, it's all like they can reference whatever the fuck they want because they don't have to worry about getting the rights to anything.
And Marvel, I mean, it's so slapshot. It really is, because they had like a bunch of anime stuff that was kind of similar, like an Iron Man anime, Blade anime, X-Men anime, Wolverine anime, and the Wolverine anime and the X-Men anime Wolverine were two like different people who were kind of different. It's like I don't know. And they did this whole Marvel Rising thing recently, which I haven't seen anything from yet, other than that movie with Squirrel Girl and
I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't.
It's
like,
all
actually
right.
seen it.
It's all right. The animation is still cheap, but it's all right.
Right.
And other than that, like the only other movie that's animated based on a Marvel comic that I can think of that's even worth talking about is, of course, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh god, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. But that's not direct to DVD. That was a full feature-length thing that's made with Sony and stuff under the direction of our gods and masters, Lord and Miller. So, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at, like, I've got 2 tabs up right now on Wikipedia right now. I've got the sort of little overview of the animated films by DC Comics, a little overview of the animation by Marvel Comics, and the size comparison, let alone the actual things, is just it's insane. Like, okay, so let's go for all these single standalone films in a based on DC Comics that aren't part of any greater franchise or anything like that. So you've got various Superman shorts, Gen 13, The Batman vs. Dracula, Superman Brainiac Attacks, Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo, JLA Adventures Trapped in Time, Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold, Batman Ninja, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and now Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. For Marvel, you have Dracula Sovereign of the Damned, The Monster of Frankenstein, Big Hero 6, which is worth talking about, Hulk Where Monsters Dwell, Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel, Marvel Rising Secret Warriors, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, I
haven't heard of most of those.
I swear to God there's more Marvel comics based on that. If I get... Yeah.
Marvel,
oh, actually, no.
Marvel
Actually,
I
take that back. I take that back. There is a bit more. Revised. For Marvel, it's in 1980, Dracula Sovereign of the Damned, and that Frankenstein thing, which were made by Toei Animation from Japan. So, because this was back when they were doing like, well, it was 1980. So shortly after they did the whole like Spider-Man Japanese show,
right?
Which, if you ever see a clip from, just like, okay.
Oh yeah, it's.
After that, in 2006, they did Ultimate Avengers 2, The Invincible Iron Man, Doctor Strange, The Sorcerer Supreme. Next Avengers, Heroes of Tomorrow, it's the Avengers, but they're kids. Fuck off. Hulk versus, so like Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus someone else, I can't remember. Planet Hulk, Thor Tales of Asgard, Iron Man Rise of the Technovore, Iron Man and Hulk Heroes United, which is like a CGI thing. Avengers Confidential, Black Widow and Punisher, Iron Man and Captain America Heroes United, Marvel Superheroes Adventures Frost Fight, which was like a Christmas special thing, Hulk Where Monsters Dwell, and Marvel Rising Secret Warriors. And
there doesn't seem to be a lot of movies. There's a few of them that I can pick up, but it doesn't seem to be a lot of Marvel animated movies that are direct adaptations of certain comics. Like DC does that all the goddamn time.
Yeah, no, like Hulk versus, it's kind of based on the very
Planet
first
Hulk.
instance of Wolverine in comics, like his origin issue. But I've seen that movie, and it is a fun movie, but it's like, no, that's not what it is. Thor Tales of Asgard is like a Thor and Loki when they were kids. Again,
Right.
The only one that actually stands out to me in terms of this is a direct adaptation would be either Ultimate Avengers
Well, Planet Hulk.
and Planet Hulk, yeah.
Yeah.
Which even then they made some, like in Planet Hulk, the original comic, he has to like fight a gladiatorial arena with Silver Surfer. Here it's Beta Ray Bill, and like no disrespect to Beta Ray Bill, but I'd rather much see the Hulk fight motherfucking Silver Surfer because he has a history with that guy.
Right. Yeah, I think, and this probably was a lot easier before Marvel was bought by Disney, but I would love to see an animated JLA Avengers.
Yeah.
Because that series is a lot of fun. I didn't read all of it, but I just like the highlights.
If Disney can team up with Warner Brothers for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they can team up for this.
Right, but like Who Framed Roger Rabbit was so hard because they were both adamant Bugs Bunny had to be on screen the same time, the same amount of time as Mickey, which is why they're in a scene together. So having multiple characters from DC and Marvel would be an absolute clusterfuck to try to even out the time on that.
Yeah.
Like even that series can't decide on a name. Every other comic is either JLA Avengers or Avengers JLA. Like
Jill Avengers of Lagley. It's
but like I want to see like an animated, Steve Rogers think everyone in DC, all the DC superheroes are fascists because the people actually like them, and Wonder Woman pick up Mjolnir, and the Flash being the first one to cross over, not have the Speed Force, and unable to run away when everyone thinks he's a mutant. Like, there's fun things there that would be really cool to explore in like the animated space, but it's probably never gonna happen because Disney and Warner Brothers are at each other's throats all the goddamn time.
Black Cat and Catwoman just like, are we gonna fight? Nah, you want to steal stuff together? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And we just see a montage of them stealing stuff while the song "Ooh, You Make Me Live" plays in the background. Ooh, you making me live now, honey, and just stealing stuff left, right, and center.
Just all of the back and forth rip-off characters meeting all at once. like Ant-Man
Nova meets Green Lantern,
and the Atom.
Yeah.
Hawkeye and Green Arrow.
Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate.
Yeah, Black Canary and Mockingbird. This all of them. The Doom Patrol and the X-Men. Even though Doom Patrol actually started like a month before the X-Men did, which is the wildest coincidence ever.
Yeah, it's just
there's a lot of that where it's like, who was first? Because these happened so close together. You have no like Bucky and Jason came back like within a month of each other. Like it's like, what the hell? Are you guys talking to each other? How did this happen at the same time?
It often happens in any sort of industry, any of the media industry, because sometimes you just have the same lines, and because of production delays and production schedules,
Right.
It just sometimes comes at the same time. Just like, oh shit! It's rare that it's on purpose. It's not like a Pixar DreamWorks thing with Bugs Life and ants.
Oh, right. We're like, I can't remember who it was like deliberately trying to fuck with Disney because he was mad at them.
Probably
But yeah, like
John Lasseter? No.
no, Katzenberg.
One or the other. Like, some
Uh,
bastard.
yeah, it's the guy who made Shrek. Um,
Mike Myers? I don't know.
it was Mike Myers all along.
Donkey! I can't.
Yeah,
No.
now Warner Brothers needs to buy DreamWorks just to like. Now we have an animation studio. Fuck you. Even though they already have an animation studio.
They're doing just
Like,
fine with their animation. They're making Lego movies, and that tides them over.
Oh yeah.
And Sony's just in the background like, I'm still here, guys, right? And there's like, yes, Sony, you've earned yourself some goodwill with the new
every
Spider-Man.
once in a while, you're allowed at the big kid table.
And they're just outside of this house where all the animation studios are talking, we just see Illumination Studios just like peering and just saying like, I could be in there if I wasn't so boring.
No,
They let Blue Sky in there somehow.
Did they? I don't think Blue Sky deserves to be at the big kid table.
More than fucking Illumination, jeez. They keep on butchering Dr. Seuss movies. At least Blue Sky butcher their own stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, Illumination also did Minions, so they're ban them but Blue movies.
You're gonna have to repeat all of that.
One of them. Illumination made Minions, so I think that they should not get an opportunity ever.
No.
And Blue Sky made all of the Ice Age movies.
The first one was okay. And the second one was okay. And the third one was okay. And the rest are shit. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't remember
I'm sorry.
any of them.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to dislike Simon Pegg as an adventuring weasel named Buck. I can't not like that. I don't have it in me. I'm only human! Anyway, we were talking about Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at some point.
Right.
And, but that's the thing, there's so many different...
I don't like Batman's costume. I can say that. Like,
it's very
don't
1970s.
Right, but like I'd be okay if it was just like bright blue. But you can also see his ribs.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they decided to show off his ribs. And like, is he supposed to be buff or emaciated?
Like, Batman, eat something. God damn, you have a butler. Like, he'll bring you something. You're eating pizza right now. Good. Just like eat something. Dear God. Oh, jeez. And aside from that, what else could we talk about? We could talk about a bit more in detail with the designs of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like the fact they have like different heights and different builds and stuff like that, so it's much easier to differentiate them other than their like masks.
Their colors, yeah. I mean, like,
because in the original cartoon and the 2004 cartoon, which is the one I watched when I was a kid, they just look kind of similar.
Right, it would hard telling them apart other than colors. But yeah, you can. I was able to distinctly tell. I think Mikey and Leo look a lot alike, but I think that's about that. That's it. Like, but they're so totally like they carry themselves differently. There's like no way you could confuse one for the other.
Yeah, Michelangelo's always smiling and has slightly larger eyes.
That like the interpretations of Michelangelo that I've seen previously have him like he's a party dude, but he's also like he's a little bit mean. Like he'll make fun of people for jokes. In this, like he's so absolutely genuinely excited to be there, and it's so sweet. He's such a sweetheart.
He is just extra, and I love him.
Yeah, he feels so bad about making Alfred upset. He gives him his skateboard.
Just what I've always wanted. Oh, that was less Alfred and more Snape.
Yeah.
Master Wayne, I have polished the Batmobile.
Use this only for the sickest of tricks.
Oh god, yeah. It's just like, oh yeah, I love it. And that's what we're saying about this movie. It's kind of hard to hate, whether you're a Batman fan or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan or a young kid who suddenly knows what blood looks like because of this movie. There's something here for everyone, I think, which might be a problem in that there's nothing for everyone. but the movie's so fun, and they've got such great action, and it's so. I don't want to say it's in love with itself, but it's clear that the people who made it, directed by Jake Castorina, and made by written by Marley Halpin Grazer. Don't know who these people are. Don't know what they've done before. Clearly, it was done with such love by them, and it really shows, from the writing to the direction to the artwork to the voice acting. The animation when Leonardo is fighting Ra's al Ghul at one point, it gets like the camera doesn't cut away, it just kind of follows them, and it gets a bit more detailed. And I've seen direct-to-DVD DC movies do that before, and it hasn't really worked. It kind of works there.
So, sorry, I just looked up Marley Halpin Grazer. First of all, Marley Halpin Grazer is a man.
Oh, I do apologize. I did not know that.
This is just a weird connection. I recognized his last name because I knew someone in college with the same last name. I'm looking at this picture right now. They've got to be brothers. Like, I knew his brother I went to college with. They look exactly the same. It's scary.
Should have contacted him. We could have had him on the show. Goddamn.
Yeah. I wasn't super close with him, but like, that's weird, like, small world connection. Like, I was like, oh, maybe it's his like mom or something. No, like, oh my god, they're like twins almost.
Marley, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I thought you were a lady. I should not have assumed.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, I assumed too. It wasn't until I heard the Halpin Grazer that I was like, wait a second.
If it had an E before the Y and after the L, I might have thought Marley as a male, because then, like, right, you know, like Marley and Me, or I don't know, Jacob Marley from Christmas Carol. There are not a lot of people named Marley. Yeah, but it's a big love letter to both Batman and the Teenage Mutant Turtles. It doesn't take itself too seriously, except when it absolutely does. And I had a blast enjoying it. And I needed this. I fucking needed this after all the bad movies I've had to review for this show. This has been a welcome break.
You've had like a streak of bad movies.
It's not been fun for me.
Yeah, this summer, like,
I couldn't wait till Spider-Man Far From Home. I just couldn't wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Far From Home is this week, right? Or next week?
I believe it comes out July 4th, July 2nd. I don't know. So
I'm probably not gonna see it on time. I ended up seeing Homecoming like a year after it came out, so it's gonna take me a while to see this movie.
Fucking shame on you, Alex. Shame on you.
I mean, Spider-Verse I was all in for. If the rumors are true that this will connect to Spider-Verse, I'll go see it. But I don't know. I don't have like a burning desire. I still haven't seen Captain Marvel, and I still haven't seen Endgame. So like, I just don't have any.
Okay. Give me it. Give me your nerd card. Give me it right now. I am confiscating it. It's mine.
No, I don't have to care about the MCU to be a nerd.
Well, they are going to be re-releasing Endgame with additional footage. So
because they can't handle second place, so they're like, we're gonna go back, try again.
You don't understand. They have to beat James Cameron, because once they do that, it makes him look even more stupid than he already is for all his comments about how people don't like superhero movies when they clearly do.
It feels so much like, well, we couldn't get there on our own, so we're going to just put the DVD release in theaters, and we're going to just try it again. And it doesn't feel like they're going to genuinely get there. They're going to get there from a re-release.
I don't know, like, they still broke a ton of records. I don't think
they did. I mean, they're number 2. Like, they're number 2 of all time right now. But they want to be Disney won't settle for number 2. They have to be number 1.
I'd rather this be number 1 than Avatar. Let's be all. That's a thing we can all get behind.
I mean, I guess I don't care.
Of course you don't care. Of course you don't care, because no one fucking cares about Avatar. Do you hear me, James Cameron? No one cares about Avatar. You're the only one. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think I could name some characters from Avatar.
Natiri, and I only
Mhm.
know that name because she's played by Zoe Saldana, who is
Oh,
awesome.
Jake Sully, because they
Oh,
say it like that. They say it weirdly.
and that's fucking it.
And Sigourney Weaver. It's just Sigourney Weaver. She
Hi,
doesn't have
I'm
a character
Sigourney
name.
Weaver. I am playing Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. Just doing Sigourney Weaver again. Yeah,
If
I
you,
don't care
if
about
you think
that
this
movie. I
episode
don't
is a
care.
bit random, that's because the movie we were reviewing is random.
It's random and it's short. I've given up on pretending to care about the MCU. Like
When
before
did
I
you
was like,
start pretending? I don't remember you ever pretending you cared about the MCU on this show.
I used to see every single movie, and then I think it was Doctor Strange that I was like, I just don't. I didn't see Doctor Strange. I had no desire to see Doctor Strange, and
You
so
have
I
no
didn't until I
desire to
just.
see Benedict Cumberbatch doing magic tricks? What's wrong with you?
That is my least like that. That is the last thing I ever want to see is Benedict Cumberbatch doing anything. We've talked about this before. I don't like him. He's boring.
And I'm still just as offended and shocked. Like, this is a Shakespeareanly trained actor.
Yeah, well, he doesn't use it well.
Yes, he does. Shut up.
He uses to play the same four characters.
He doesn't. Again.
They're actually, it's the same one character. They're all standoffish assholes who are geniuses.
No.
When has he not played that character?
Okay, he does play that character a fair bit, I'll grant you, but not all the time. And on that note, before you have any more Cumberbatch hate, I think we're going to end the show. Thank you, Alex, for joining me today.
Thank you for getting me to watch this movie.
Not a problem. And if you enjoy the show, Capers, please tell your friends, shout it from the rooftops! And if you haven't already, go back and listen to some of our other super episodes, like the last time we teamed up for DC, the Shazam review. You can listen to the show on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, or at podcapers.com. We have a Patreon. Check out the rewards, patreon.com/AP2HYC. If you want to get in touch with us, suggest show topics, or maybe come on the show yourself, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AP2HYC, or email us at podcapers@ap2hyc.com. Thank you very much to Dan Harris for our logo, the lovely microphone, the red and blue 3D glasses, those are mine. And thank you for listening. This has been Podcapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. Cue the music! I hate Benedict Cumberbatch.